What's going on, after show audience? Today we're introducing Ken to another internet sensation called Internet Historian. Much like with Belle Delphine, we figured we'd show him some more cringe fest that's on the internet. I myself love Internet Historians. Zeph has seen it a couple of times, and Ken is brand new to it. So,
never once, never will.
Well, we'll have you watch a couple, maybe, if this does
that's
well.
fine. That's fine.
This has to do with some religion, so I think everybody here is gonna have something to say. But as much as I do love Internet Historian, we are gonna skip. All right.
You're floating through a cloud. The sun is warm on your face. The end is nigh. A prophecy has been foretold.
The rapture.
The rapture is coming. And we have the specific date.
I love the
Soon the believers will rise and the impure will be left below. So
that's where I saw the Terminators in there.
Get your affairs in order. Take your preparation H. That's preparation for heaven. Because the world will officially end on May 21st, 2011.
Damn, we dead.
Wait, what?
We've been dead, bro.
We've been dead.
21, there's going to be a terrific earthquake, way greater than anything Earth has ever experienced. And that'll be the beginning of Judgment Day.
Go ahead and sow your seed while you're waiting on the fucking rapture. That's beautiful.
Pretty much.
In late 2010, a campaign was launched to save some souls. They suited up, took to the streets. But it was more than just placards and flyers. Soon they were joined by a caravan of 5 RVs roaming the country.
It's crazy
the
what
good word about the rapture.
It's crazy what religion can do.
People took it seriously. Many began selling their possessions. They were maxing out credit cards, taking on debt.
Oh, hell
Even
yeah.
the news picked up on it.
The end is
like
near.
Y2K.
Advertising was put on
It really is.
in subways. A big expensive billboard was put up. Then another. Then another. Then 5,000 more. In fact, this quickly became the most expensive single-event advertising campaign ever.
Hey man, fear is like one of the number one things you can advertise. Anybody will buy it. Like,
oh yeah,
that's how you control people. Fear.
The thing is, though, you can use fear to get anything you want. If you convince enough people, then you help them convince others, and it's just fucking snowballs.
Well, religion has always been used as a way to like fear monger or a way to go ahead and like convince people to do things. Like, how many times do you hear people say like, "Oh, I can't be a bad person. I'm a Christian, or I'm a this, or I'm a that." Like, okay, that doesn't make you a good person.
It's also ignorance.
Like,
you know what I mean?
If I do that, I'm going to go to hell. Oh no, like it's all fear. It's fear of judgment.
Yeah, I mean, if it keeps you in line from doing bad things, cool. But it's not like a get out of jail free card.
Hey man, whatever. Hey man, as I always say, whatever helps you sleep at night.
Over $100 million just to tell people about a rapture on May 21st, 2011.
It's a lot of money.
How the heck did this happen? Harold Camping.
He looks like a trustworthy guy.
Oh yeah.
Good job, Harold. Good job.
So who is this hardcore
Fucking
gangster
Harold.
rapturist? Harold
He looks like a mouse.
He was one of the biggest
Oh,
figures
yeah.
in Christian media. He had a show, Open Forum, hosted by his company, Family Radio. In 2010, it was a media empire worth over $70 million. His message went out on over 200 radio stations across the United States and many more around the world.
It pays to grift people.
His listenership? Millions. And when he says the world will end,
Jesus.
a decent-sized contingent believed it.
Of course.
Now, hold on. I can see the comment section filling up with edgy atheists and skeptics already. Listen, at first I also didn't believe Mr. Camping. I get it. There have been many people to predict the rapture before and get it wrong. But wait, give him a chance.
I looked at all the scientific data I could find.
Those ears, bro.
14 dating,
Pause it for just a second,
Yeah.
This is hilarious because I didn't know about this. You know, this isn't happening in 2011. we had something happen. We had something similar happen a year later in 2012. The Mayan calendar ends.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
I forgot
that.
about that.
Forgot about. Oh yeah.
It's almost like this shit happens all the time. It's always the world is ending. The world is ending. God forbid. Oh my God.
But it's more like people just ran out of space. Like,
Yeah.
oh my
That's
gosh.
what makes this even funnier, because I know the next year after that they're gonna have that whole panic attack all over again.
Yup.
The real question is on May 22nd, what was his message at that point? You know what I mean?
You'll find out.
Oh, I'm sure we're gonna find out.
Yeah. It's just it's
Something tells me he stepped down from priesthood after that or whatever he
Well,
it's just amazing
well,
how they're able to like convince people to do this, and still people will say like, "Oh, it's not a cult," even though they convince you to sell anything and everything you own.
yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of funny, kind of like with that cult Heaven's Gate, you know, back in I think it was like 1997, like when Hellbop Comet was coming through, right? And you know, they said it was going to be like the great, you know, the recycling and the refurbishing of Earth.
Yep.
And then now, even to this day, one of the dudes that used to be with them, Sawyer, he literally has a YouTube channel. Like, what is this now? Almost 30 years later, 27 years later. And he's still saying the same thing, that this is going to happen like 27 years later.
Well, you don't understand. He didn't have his Jordans that day, so obviously he couldn't go up there. Like, you know.
Damn.
The wind blew west, but he meant west. Oh no.
It's crazy how do you convince people that? Like, oh, you just gotta drink the Kool-Aid and have your Jordans on and you'll be transported onto a comet. Like,
yeah, it was a whole thing.
There's suckers born every day.
That's it.
You gotta feel bad for somebody who's like that naive though. Just a little bit.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely, dude.
A little.
Just a little.
Time, it's different. Camping is coming at you with irrefutable evidence of the rapture because he's using math. This is not just a bit, this is actually how he calculated the rapture. So, Jesus died on April 1st, 33 AD. Now take the year 2011. That's a difference of 1,978. We times that by 365.2422, and that gives you the number of days it's been since that, including leap years. That equals 722,449. Now keep that number in mind. Keep it in your head. Atonement. Now that's 5. Completeness. That's 10.
Oh my
And
God.
is 17. Now we times them all together, and look at this. 850. Then we square that, and that's 722,500.
This is like peak finding the answer, no matter what.
51 days.
Bro is reaching.
Well,
Bro is reaching.
Well, look. First and foremost, I don't trust them because they're left-handed. You know, since they're left-handed.
Does that mean you don't trust me?
I don't trust you. You know why? Because left-handed people are the devil's children. I'm just going to put that out there.
Hitler was left-handed.
All right.
Most serial killers were left-handed.
You know,
All right, that's it, guys. After show's over. All right, taking it out.
Are you quitting too?
Oh man,
short right
hot
there.
take. That's a hot take, bro. But I'll tell you though that this is actually a real fact. At any point in the world, 11% of the entire population is left-handed. It's never gone up and it's never gone down. Always 11%.
We got to get those numbers up.
Out a little bit. All right.
Weird,
what
man.
powers do I possess, Ken? Can you tell me more?
It's not up to me, bro. It's up to the pentagram that you pray to, bro. That ain't up to me.
The upside down cross.
I just know that whenever I reach that golden light, I'm going to reach out with my left hand now.
Fuck.
Or you could learn to become ambidextrous. There you go. Then you don't have to worry about anything. This is literally like finding straw men.
Oh yeah.
Like here's the thing. Where does the quantifying like why is it 51 days and not 51 hours or anything like that? Like this is why religion is so dumb.
Because the math doesn't fit.
Right. It's like they're literally using what they find to create an answer rather than find an answer. That's all it is.
Oh, yeah. They're creating the answer. That way it creates a narrative that they show others, and they try and get people to comply and to believe them. This is basically where they're at.
By any means necessary.
That's it.
1st, 2011. You did it, Mr. Camping. You've cracked the code. And needless to say, his skeptics were left destroyed by facts and logic. Even the ones who pointed out that he predicted the rapture once before in 1994 in the Louis Theroux documentary.
1994 will be the last day of the final tribulation period.
But shut up. He's got more to say than just the date. My boy is about to tell you how the whole thing is gonna go down. So God's gonna snatch up all the good boys, about 200 million of us. Everyone else, pets,
hey, that's a good movie.
Even the cute ones. So dudes, you're getting left behind. Then at 6 p.m. exactly on Christmas Island, earthquakes are going to start doodling all over the place, rolling their way across the earth, taking out almost everyone at exactly 6 p.m. according to their time zone. Those earthquakes will then
some people are going to die. That is interesting. Some people, if the end of the world did happen on different part of the like hemisphere and all that, some people would die in the future.
Hey.
Or fucking die in their sleep. Ain't that horrible?
You know what's funny about this?
That's better.
Actually, I'd rather go in my sleep if I had to pick.
Yeah.
But what's funny about this, if you're thinking about this and like pure like base level thinking, the three of us are all talking in the past and the future, if you think about it, in relative to our own time.
Yeah.
No. See, we're all in three different spectrums of time. Kmplxity, you are in the past, motherfucker, and Ken, you're in the future. I am the real timeline. I'm the main character here.
And you know what's funny? Only a left-handed person would think that. Continue.
There's that.
This narrative. I like this narrative, Ken. Keep it up.
Demonic and go as far inland as Colorado. Every
You're gonna come in next week. I'm gonna have double horns on my profile picture.
Eventually to go straight down to heck.
Oh. To the nether.
Now, let's not go lumping everyone in. Most Christian groups did not believe in Harold Camping's teachings. In fact, most Christian groups don't believe in predicting the rapture at all.
Yeah, because it's in the Bible.
Consider it a sin.
Yep.
Matthew 24:36 specifically says that no man can know the day or the hour. So to try and guess at it would be to go against Scripture. Accordingly, Protestant and Catholic groups denounced Mr. Camping's claims.
That wouldn't be the first time.
Of Harold Camping. The scriptures
it won't be the last.
No man knows the day or the hour.
In fact, even Camping's own producer at Family Radio said it was a bad idea. But that didn't stop Mr. Camping.
Of course.
He saw the big churches as corrupt anyway, so he ignored them and continued charging forward with his
Hell yeah.
There's just
Of course he did. Why wouldn't he?
Dude, he looks like he looks like the Mexican rat Speedy Gonzalez with the ears and everything.
Oh Jesus.
Bro, this goes to prove, and even in today's politics and even in today's political climate, there is nothing more dangerous than a stubborn old person. Jesus.
Hey, he runs game even at his age, all right? You gotta give that man props. It's all he knows how to do. He's been running this con his entire life.
You know what's funny about that?
If demented Joe Biden said World War III, let's go. You know what? That would still happen.
What were you saying, Ken?
The sad part is that this old demented fuck will have more money than the three of us ever will even imagine.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but he
has something to say about it.
But he's spent a lot of it. So
100% he did.
I guess. I mean, he kind of. Well, I guess. Well, you'll see. You'll see.
No possibility that it will not happen.
None
and
whatsoever.
So his followers.
97% of the people, God will destroy.
I like the sound of that. I'm okay with that.
Well, it's quick.
I'm just thinking about the traffic.
Too much in the media and elsewhere.
Before we go on, two important details. Number one, Family Radio receives most of its funding through donations, bequeathments, ads, merchandise, and sponsors, but mostly just donations.
Yep, like all churches.
Two, Family Radio was established in 1959. Camping is the owner and CEO, but there are 2 other chairmen on board to keep him in check. Or at least there were. Unfortunately, in recent years, those other chairmen were getting quite old and sick and having a tougher and tougher time telling camping no to poor decision-making. So by 2010, camping effectively had free reign
fight
over
the stupid
company.
Anymore.
That's
Free
it.
reign over its messaging, free reign over its audience, and free reign over the spending. And he started spending like the world was going to end.
Wonder how much of that money went to
media
mobile
soon picked
games.
up on the ubiquitous
Exactly.
advertising, and the word spread further. This, in turn, encouraged more advertising, and in turn, more media interest.
Vicious
So
circle.
things were snowballing.
Yep.
By early May, everyone was talking about the rapture. The search term "End of the World May 21st" was number 2 on Google search, followed by Harold Camping, May 21st Doomsday, and May 21 Rapture.
And that's fear mongering, man. That's what it can do for you. That's why, it's not supposed to be done in politics and shit like that. That's why it's demonized.
He did this at the peak time when Google first was really starting, like the snowball was really getting big for Google. So people, when they heard something like this, of course they went to fucking Google and was like, "End of the world? What?" And people didn't understand that not everything you read on the internet is true yet.
It's crazy that these wackadoodles. It's crazy that these wackadoodles even get a platform in the first place. That's the crazy thing about it. Heaven's Gate people, freaking all these psycho cult leaders, man. They give them talk shows and whatnot. Fucking come on.
And the other thing is too. I mean, a lot of this was a public broadcasting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Public broadcasting is basically ran by nonprofit, groups, and that falls with religion. And the other thing that I was going to say is for 2011, I want to know where it trended with Ask Jeeves. You know what I mean? We all remember Ask Jeeves. Where did it trend with Ask Jeeves?
I have no clue.
And the traffic online was so substantial it even caused Family Radio's servers to crash. Soon, it became a bit of a meme. And the internet did what it does
Happy
best.
Rapture.
It always does.
The internet never
On May
loses.
19th, Operation Rapture was conceived. Okay, lads. We wake up early on May 21st and throw clothes into the street. It's going to look like a bunch of people were teleported to the afterlife.
The internet never takes anything
someone will
serious.
freak out.
No, never, bro.
Well, they had a pretty good turnout, but it doesn't seem like anyone fell for it. Disappointingly, it seems like no one showed up for the pre-rapture orgy organized on Facebook either. Although maybe that's because the location was a bit vague. But best of all was an event organized by the Phenomenals. They got people together in the middle of town and filled a bunch of sex dolls with helium and attached them to balloons to transcend into
Yes, sir.
That is
Were
beautiful.
they used?
It
Who
was a
knows?
beautiful moment, and it made a lot of us reflect.
Was that first hit or was it cum? You will never know.
People also tried to make some cash off the situation.
Oh, yeah.
By Camping's followers.
Of course.
Oh, yeah, it's
man.
America, bro. It's America.
Capitalism
One
at
man's
its finest.
trash is another man's treasure.
No, it's one man's dumbass is another man's. You just need to. You don't need to sell $1 to 1,000,000 people. You just need to sell or you just need to get $1 million from one idiot. That's it.
Pennies on the dollar.
Offering to buy on Craigslist raptured people's possessions.
There was also a famous eBay auction, $100,000 post-rapture insurance for only $19.99. But one startup did do quite well.
Dog sit for those called up to heaven.
Based around taking other people's
beautiful.
pets in the event of a rapture.
Oh, that is beautiful.
And I believe they still operate today.
You didn't see that horrendous dog.
So up next,
we remember what happened with COVID.
Well,
People, doing that during COVID and the time and the downtime when there was nobody around, they'd go and scalp medical equipment and hydrogen peroxide and rubbing alcohol and
price gouging.
They had to make a law for that shit. That's how fucked it was.
Well, price gouging is a law that was already created, but they're people were trying to resell hand sanitizer on Amazon and stuff like that, but that's what happens in this world. People will too many people are willing to just believe whatever they see rather than do any sort of research on their own.
Yeah.
The perception of a desperate time calls for a desperate measure.
Yep, and when you're desperate, you're not going to think about like repercussions or anything. You're just going to want like saved now. There's a lot of dumb people in the world.
Say it fucking sounds like my sanity at the moment.
Sometimes the world really is just being like a bunch of sheep being led by one fox.
Yep.
Happened on May 21st, and what happened to all those people who truly believed. But first,
well, they all felt dumb.
Sick. My crew
oh my god!
And it keeps getting bigger.
Yep.
That's because Jesus Christ is my
bad time.
That was a good time.
Hello, that was perfect.
It's me. Oh my god! It's Jesus. What are you doing here?
Well, I just wanted to tell you that me and God have seen your Google search history and were very disappointed.
Oh no!
That's right, and now you're not getting into heaven, or the more exclusive
Incognito
version,
mode, that's all I'm gonna say.
which features a delicious seafood buffet.
Super Heaven sounds better.
No.
Yup.
Oh, how I wish I had taken the time to hide my internet viewing habits.
Well, you didn't, and now you're doomed forever.
I thought Jesus would have a longer beard.
Has this ever happened to you? Good enough.
Well, you'd have a deeper voice.
Oh, this is really an ad.
Yeah, it really is an ad. Yeah.
Oh wow.
All looks wholesome to me.
While that's going on, Zeph, I'll tell you the story. So,
oh hey, look.
This when I was
go
sorry,
ahead.
When we were in Texas during active duty, there was a dude asleep. So I was going ready to like fuck with him, and I kept like saying his last name like real low, and me having a deep voice with making it lower. He woke up and he was like, "Is that you, God?" That shit was funny.
And use code InternetHistorian to get a free extra month, which includes unlimited data, ultra fast
use
speeds,
code Aftershow. I'm kidding.
I'm
totally kidding.
A map of the world.
In our shit all the time. What the
fuck? Geography.
Hey.
Wow, that's so good. I might even get code Internet Historian NordVPN myself.
Yes, Jesus. I think that would be
that
a
code
good
isn't going to
idea.
work at this point in time.
No.
Internet Historian does really good with his freaking ads.
Over. Before we go on with Mr. Camping, I want to point out two other predictions. In 1806, Mary Bateman also predicted doomsday. Through a chicken. It was dubbed the prophet hen breeds, because it started laying eggs with the message, "Christ is coming," marked onto them.
Nah, bro, that's not chicken. That's just an early age printer.
Legit. Locals saw the hen lay eggs with the message already written onto them. Can't fake that. Oh my god, people said, and many more flocked to the area to pray. Well, on inspection of the eggs, it was soon figured out what was going on. Mary Bateman had used a corrosive substance to etch into the egg, and then, a couple of minutes before everyone would gather around to watch the chicken lay, Mary would... Oh dear.
Oh, that poor
anything
chicken.
for a con.
She was an interesting character, though. Claimed to be a witch, poisoned a couple that same year with a deadly pudding.
Damn.
She was later tried and hanged in 1809. Strips of skin from her corpse were tanned and sold as magic charms to ward off evil spirits. What
Jesus.
the fuck am I reading?
That's beautiful.
Also, shout out to
I was gonna say, bro, this is
Remember that
1806. I was gonna say 1806. What are you gonna get from lying to all these poor motherfuckers? Like, what was the goal?
Burned at the stake, bro.
Probably I don't know, to be seen as like some sort of like a seer or something, maybe. Who knows?
Well,
Gambled and lost.
Well, back then, people valued like animals, livestock, any type of like property. So,
Well, I'm trying to think of what status you could come from having that. I guess money people would pay to see it happen. So,
yeah, it's fair.
Couldn't have been a circus
Damn,
act.
all the way back in 1806, and people were still trying to scam us.
It's hustle, bro. The hustle never stops.
Nope.
Hustle never stops.
Bro,
It just adapts.
Bro, it's in the Bible that things are doing that, and prostitution's even in the Bible.
Yep.
So I mean, it's been going on forever.
Yep.
And I promise you, that's gonna have somebody in the comments just going, "No, it's not. It's interpreted wrong."
I guess, I mean, it's all interpreted the way you read it, so.
Exactly.
December 21st, 2012 marks the end of the world.
Well, we came because it's the end of the world tomorrow, and we thought we'd better pop in here because apparently this place will be saved.
Leave it to Fox News.
With accents like those, you would hope they'd be the first to go come the apocalypse.
Okay, let's get on with it. Let's take a closer look at some of the people who followed camping. Take Robert Fitzpatrick, 60, former government employee.
I had plans after I retired, but I put them all aside. I feel as if I've been drafted.
He took almost all of his life savings, $140,000, to have 3,000 posters put up in New York City subways and bus stops.
I'm not going to tell you I'm down to my last penny, but, you know, it's a good chunk of what I had saved up, sure.
Does it matter if you're down to your last penny, if the doomsday is coming?
Good question.
No, and he's not the only one. According to the LA
Pause
Times...
it real quick. Question is, who was more fulfilled? Him or Boogie and the hookers? You know what I mean? Who was more fulfilled at the end of the day?
It's crazy. Like, how does that, like, how do you convince yourself to do that? I couldn't, I don't know, man.
That goes back to the Heaven's Gate cult, because they had like lawyers, doctors, you know, like I hate to say prominent people, but they weren't idiots. Like, they were smart. They had scientists. They had, you know, teachers, professors join them.
Yeah,
so it's not about like status or education. It's about.
But this was a follower of not like this was like somebody who listens to him on the radio, not.
Oh yeah, I was talking about the followers who followed Marshall Applewhite.
Yeah, but they were like on the actual farm with them.
Oh yeah. Exactly.
What I'm saying is that this dude is a random person who listens to this guy on the radio. He's not like part of the church or anything. He just listens to the dude's teachings on the radio and decides to blow $140,000 on advertisements, which is insanity. Like, it's one thing if he was there at the church.
God, he said essentially what he's saying is, God told me to listen to this dumb fucker, and I bought $140,000 in paper.
Like, why didn't he spend that money like preparing for the end of the world, or just giving it away? Like, he could have spent it doing so much better.
He had to warn everybody.
Remember that.
No, what I'm saying is, like, he could have done better with it. Like, he could have given it away to the homeless. He could have like built shelters, or he could have done like so much more than just like, hey, extra end of the world.
Like, that's fair. Yeah,
he could have done so much better. I'm not even saying like blowing it on cool stuff. Oh man,
extra, we're all gonna fucking die.
Yeah, pretty much. Look out for the end of the world. This old mouse told me.
Family hopped in their minivan and drove across the country to see all of the big landmarks before it was too late, racking up thousands of dollars in credit card debt in the process. Some
people just need to not freaking procreate,
still,
man.
The Ramsey family. The father quit his job. So did his mum. His younger brother quit high school. And his wife Marcia thought she was never going to meet her unborn child. Some of these people's lives got pretty fucked up.
Because they're stupid, though.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like your fault.
The day is here. It's rapture time. Here we go.
On to the final day.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do a rapture. Watch me, guys.
Hell
Mr.
yeah.
Camping spent the day at home in quiet solace and contemplation, waiting for 6 p.m. But that's not what Mr. Fitzpatrick did. A
He was the
confident
dumb
Fitzpatrick
one.
marched into the middle of Times Square amongst a crowd of mocking bystanders, ready to prove everyone wrong.
6 o'clock.
In 3 minutes. If it does not happen, what will that mean?
I wouldn't entertain that question.
You're confident.
Oh my God, he did
Come
not.
on, bro.
In public.
He had no reason being out there.
Yeah.
3.
He really didn't.
Listen, if the guy telling
it's not
you,
the hero camping, dude. It's not even the hero camping.
no, that's what I'm
It's
saying.
some fuck-
That's what I'm saying. If the guy who even was telling you this was gonna happen wasn't out in public, why would you be?
Bro,
like, that dude
honestly.
decided to hide.
Nah, bro, here's the thing. If he really believed that shit, he would have stripped down naked with a megaphone running around. Because at that point, none of that shit's going to matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That would have been a sight to see, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
What a smug asshole for the end of the world. The guy's like, literally, he's like, what happens in 3 minutes if it doesn't happen? He's like, I'm not even going to entertain that question. What a smug asshole.
Well, he's scared more than anything. But it's crazy. Oh man, Harold Camping's the dude who's like, hold me back, and nobody's like told him.
That's it.
2, 1.
We're all dead.
Nothing happened. And then 6:01.
Fuck you, bro.
And the worst part about it is you're surrounded by him.
And by 6:03, Fitzpatrick's convictions.
Why you stay in your home for that? You just stay in your home.
I feel sorry for him.
It's like he can't leave if they don't want him to.
I didn't do the dishes before I left. I didn't expect to be going back home. But it looks like I will be going back home.
But look, just so we're clear, we're all still alive, and the rapture didn't happen.
Yeah. That's it. Party down, baby. Party down.
Camping was not in the same celebratory mood.
Of course not.
I'm ready to shoot myself or go on a booze trip.
The next day was a Sunday. People were crushed, confused, looking for answers. They showed up at Camping's church.
What do they do with those T-shirts? That's the question.
Someone else was
I was literally saying the same thing. All that fucking material
Camping
wasted.
spent the day holed up in his house.
Give me a day. No interviews at all today.
But I'm wondering how you feel today about your prediction.
Well, I'm bewildered. I'm very bewildered. That's all.
He's like, when I was multiplying all those random numbers, I really thought I had something.
Science and the math that I made up and, reached for from heaven to above to down here.
He would have had a better chance.
Didn't match up.
He would have had a better chance just reading the stars. Like,
really?
Should have waited for the planets to align.
Say right now.
On Monday, he appeared on his program. But this time, no open forum. But what he did have was a whole bunch of rationalizations.
Of course, bro. There's always a reason.
Your boy was doubling down with another prediction. October 21st, 2011.
Nice. Yeah,
bro. You never give up the grift. You never give up the grift,
bro. Like, bro, at least go out like 10 years so you'll already be naturally dead.
He might as well have just gone with the Mayans. He might as well have just gone with the Mayans at that point. Like, well, 2012.
He was like, that was my bad. I forgot to carry the one. Oh my gosh, this dude. Hey, you never stop the grift, man.
And this is it. And it will continue.
You predicted so many times, eventually you'll be right.
Yeah.
October 21, 2011, and at that time the whole world will be destroyed.
Now I know what you're going to say, and okay, maybe you got it slightly wrong.
The last two times.
This time he has irrefutable proof of the rapture.
Here we go.
Using math. Again.
Yes.
So Camping took May 21st. Then he looked in the book of John, which states they caught 153 fish. So add 153 days to May 21st, making the new rapture October 21st.
Bro, it was the fish. There's the fish. We obviously, how do you not know that? You always see the bumper sticker with the fish, right? That makes sense.
Yeah.
No. This is fucking stupid.
I know.
I'm like,
stupid.
I was hoping for a grand, a good explanation. Then I saw fish. I saw fish. I was like, God damn it.
Foiled by the old fish.
There it is.
How can you argue? It's flawless. Yes,
science, bro.
Add the fish number. You've got it this time. On Tuesday, he opened the phones on his radio show, and it was the first time that his show was ever exciting to watch.
Why didn't the rapture happen on May 21st? Don't cut me off yet.
There it is.
And why do you believe so much on it's going to happen another 5 months? You're really pathetic. I wasted all my money, and I don't have nothing. I was putting my hopes in you.
Bro, this sounds like dank.
I wish I could see you face to face. I'd smack you right in the...
What say you now?
Calling names doesn't help anything.
After that, viewership steadily declined.
Oh, who could have guessed?
After his prediction for October 21st, the media asked him,
Am I on cocaine?
They asked him,
Will you dissolve the company in October?
his response?
Oh, that's a good question.
I am not the CEO. I'm a servant of God working here, and God is the CEO. We look to him all the time. He has 1,000 ways of getting me out of here. We have to leave that question with
bro,
the Lord,
imagine
not
passing
with
the
you
buck
or
so
with
hard,
me.
bro.
Dude, he's like, if God wants me to shut down my money making scheme, he will tell me.
That's terrible.
Dude, churches are money making schemes, man. Like,
like you said, never fucking stop that grift, buddy.
Never stop. That man's like, oh, he's passing the buck so hard. You know, you can't put Jesus on the business expenses, bro.
God put me here to say I fucked up.
Yeah.
But it's God's fault.
He gave me the math. It was actually 154 fishes.
And how prescient. Because 2 weeks later, he had a stroke.
Damn.
I do hope he gets the message. But he didn't. A month later, he was back to doing his show.
Talk about being smited.
And he pressed on with his new prediction. By October 16th, though, he came to his senses. He admitted that no man could know exactly when the rapture would happen, and made no statement when October 21st came and went. Finally, on November 1st, he retired from his leadership position at Family Radio.
Oh, who could have guessed?
Just under 2 years later, he was dead.
Damn.
The result of complications from a fall at his home.
Fall from grace?
It was him. Look at him. Get him. But look, I don't want to be too harsh. He was a flawed man. He messed up some people's lives. But in the end, he confessed his mistakes too.
I was totally convinced, totally convicted of it. But I was wrong. I was wrong. I have sinned.
I think he truly believed the rapture was coming. This wasn't one big grift. And everyone just kind of got swept up in the excitement of it all. So let's put a bow on it.
I mean, it's always difficult with old people, you know?
During the Rapture campaign, Family Radio raised a lot of money. But not as much as they spent.
What happened to it?
As well as draining their funds, they sold off important radio stations to pay for a lot of the advertising. In the process, they greatly tarnished their reputation.
Oh,
they were bringing in scores of millions in revenue in 2011, but by 2012, it was down to single-digit millions. Now, this is still a substantial amount, but not when you consider their operating costs were $26 million per
Jesus,
year.
for a
And
church,
they couldn't
bro.
rely on donations to make up the windfall because goodwill had dried up.
Damn. How times have changed. How times have changed.
That's it. That's it, bro.
Fall because goodwill had dried up. Now, with fewer radio stations and a shrinking reach, they moved to distance themselves from camping
They're out
and
there.
his
I see
baggage.
that.
Shows from mainstream Christian groups that Harold pronounced as corrupt were brought into the programming schedule.
Of course.
They announced they would no longer air the teachings of Mr. Camping.
Oh,
And
but it's not
finally,
a script.
On their website, they removed the archives of Mr. Camping's audio recordings.
Even the church knows when it's time to cut ties from a kook.
Okay, I've kind of bummed everyone out, but that's the end of the story. I've got nothing else to say. So here's a whole bunch of weird Baroque and Renaissance paintings.
Help me. Mom warning me not.
So it's crazy. Freaking Christianity is like the oldest grift in the world. Like, if you believe in it, I totally understand that. I get it. If it helps you, blah, blah, blah. But it is, you can't deny that it is like the number one thing that a lot of people use in like justifications for being an asshole or something.
So I'm a little bit younger than you guys, and I learned kind of early on that religion to me is it's hard to understand the feeling of these people that are really religious, because Yeah, this Harold Camping guy, he keeps saying that it's not a grift, and there is aspects of it where I believe that it wasn't, but 9 times out of 10, he probably genuinely felt like that shit was happening.
And that's the thing, though. It's like, then you can't like say that they're crazy because it's like, no, but it's what they believe. But it's like, that doesn't make them not crazy, man. Like,
they're crazy. They're just a different kind of crazy.
But they're not even like gentle. Like, it's like not even gentle. They're not like, because even though he's like harmless, what he's teaching isn't. And all those people who like went into debt because, yeah, you could argue that they shouldn't be so gullible, but it's like at some point in time, you taking advantage of somebody that's gullible is on you.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So I am religious. I'm a Greek Orthodox person, and the way when I see this, the way I see it is like let me go ahead and preface. I'm not the most religious person in the world, but I do believe. But I think just like with anything, anybody can take something good and something pure and make it bad and make it evil.
Yeah.
For their own personal gain. And I'm not really one to criticize other religions, but I will say like a lot of that I don't really understand because I don't understand it.
Right.
But,
Yeah, I get you.
The way I believe and with what I've been taught is there is no understanding of the end of days. Now there are signs of it, yes, but there's no one person that knows. There's no group or some dude that's going to come out that's going to say, yeah, like God spoke to me and said this. Like, we don't believe that. It's one of those things like when it happens, and no one knows when it will be.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
we as followers are not supposed to know. Then we become a prophet.
Exactly.
There's not a we.
More than just. Well, I'm saying like in terms of like, in a general.
I get what you're saying.
But we as followers are only we're not supposed to know. But prophets, that's a whole different thing. At that point, you have whole other things in your life. That's
prophets, aka con men.
There you go.
Well, the other way I see it is, it's all on faith, and faith is something that you believe in with no real evidence,
right?
And
well, yeah, that's why it's called faith.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. It's up to you to make that determination. Like whether if you don't believe, then that's your decision. If you do believe, then that's your decision. And me personally, I choose to believe. But
yeah, but some people will believe stuff even when it's been provably false. Like, I mean, even like this right here.
I'm talking on religion. I'm talking purely on religion.
Oh yeah, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Right?
I get what you're saying.
And like, so I mean, I don't really talk about it because it's a personal thing to me. I don't sit there and like broadcast it out and just say this and I like, push my beliefs on people's throats because I believe that's supposed to be a you thing. And if you go to church and then you're in your community of believers and yet you talk about it, like if I'm asked about it, I'll talk about it, but I don't sit there and make it a part of the conversation. I don't sit there and try to convert anybody. You know what I mean? So
yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I'm just saying is that here with this guy, that's all.
Oh yeah, 100%. I believe it, and that's what I was going to get to with him doing this and using religion as a selling point to profit. I have a major issue with that.
Well, yeah, it's supposed to be one of those things that is off limits, but people will do whatever it takes to get whatever they want. Even if we go with like what Zeph said, where he like maybe he was the 10th guy who like actually believed it, he was still using his influence to get other people to do what he wanted, even if he truly believed it. But I don't know. That's just my thoughts. I think it's dumb.
Yeah, but last thing I'll say is whether he truly believed it or not, he saw that bank account, so he gonna keep pushing that narrative.
Oh yeah, he was spending well more than the other priest on freaking Candy Crush and shit. That dude was out there spending. I was talking about boats and shit. That dude was out there buying yachts.
Straight up, bro. But no, that's my take on it, man. That's just my own personal belief.
Yeah, I get you, Zeph. What do you think?
I'm kind of in the same camp as Ken. Like I have some religious beliefs, but I don't really broadcast them because it's like I agree with Ken. Like it's your own you thing.
Well, I was more so meaning about the video, but yeah, go on.
But my point being is like the worst thing about situations like this is if you want people to also believe in the same thing you believe, and then you see something like this, it just poisons the well. You know, it's like it. If there were to ever be a prophet, if there were ever to be somebody to actually know the end of times is coming, we wouldn't fucking believe them, because there's these guys like this fucker who, you know, did it twice, got it both times wrong, and, you know, screwed up a bunch of things.
Yeah, and, but people made their own choices to continue to follow him, knowing that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's not just him. It's just like, you can't believe everything somebody says, because, well, the other guy said the same thing and he was wrong, you know?
Right. Well,
also, last thing I'll say before then we can wrap it up. If you go to a mega church, or if you think that a mega church is financially supporting itself based off donations alone and not buying random shit, please reevaluate your religious beliefs.
Yeah, we can't really say that, but I
hate mega churches so much.
Right. All I'll say is that just remember, if it's somebody's job, if somebody makes money off of you liking them or liking what they have to say, 9 out of 10 times they're going to cater to what you want to hear. Just remember that next time you're sitting.
Isn't that YouTube? Isn't that YouTube?
Yep. Trust but verify, people. Have a good one.
Later.